Hi, my name is Ryan Weiss, and I am a life coach living in Los Angeles. Welcome to today's beginner's guide for meditation. Before we begin today's practice, I just want to make sure you're subscribed to the Goop channel so that you can keep getting more of these meditations to help you along the way. So meditation. Meditation is essentially a practice in learning how to listen. Listening, we would think, would be something that we'd be pretty good at, but I've come to find that it's something that I really need to work on every single day. Meditation has been so key for me because through my meditation, I've learned to see life as it truly is, as opposed to all the ways that I've learned to see life. So I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about meditation, kind of in a workshop fashion, before we go into the practice. I'll lay out why we meditate and when we should meditate and what meditation is, how to meditate, and then we'll enter into a short practice together. So there's a lot of reasons that we should be meditating, but the biggest why we meditate for me is, we spend so much time focused on what's going on around us, looking out there, and we have very little training in turning within. We have very little practice in becoming aware of what we're feeling inside and what we're believing about ourselves and others, which is building our life every day. For me, I've noticed that the healthiest life I can live comes from training my mind to be simultaneously aware of what's going on out there in the world, and also how all of that is causing me to feel on the inside. It's building a relationship with myself. So we live in this world of constant activity and stimulation, this intensity of our politics, massive corporations spending tons of money to grab our attention all the time, and our brains end up tending to take on that level of constant stimulation and thinking and stress and trying to make sense of it all, leading to a lot of confusion, a lack of clarity, self-doubt, insecurity. We need to start learning how to stop only looking out there to decide how we feel, and instead develop a relationship with what's actually going on inside of us. What are we feeling and what are we believing? We need to touch base with where we actually are right here, right now, every day, before we can truly establish where we want to go with our day. So what is meditation? There's a lot of confusion about this because there's a lot of teachers that call it a lot of different things. The best definition I've ever heard comes from a teacher of mine named Adyashanti. Adyashanti says that meditation is the practice of letting everything be exactly as it is without needing to change it. The thing is, we're so used to thinking a thought and then immediately reacting to that thought. But if we're really being honest, the first thought that we think more often than not is not the truest thought. It's more often the reactive thought that comes from our desire to protect ourselves, defend ourselves, or it comes from a critical place, it comes from littleness, or the first thought comes from some kind of a past wound. Then we react on that thought and then create more of what we really don't want in our lives. The thing about meditation is it gives us this opportunity to practice thinking those thoughts, but instead of doing something about them, this time during our meditation, we just sit and stay. And it ends up giving us a relationship with our thoughts that gives us some freedom from immediately reacting to them, and then we end up having a more creative intentionality with our lives. So when should we meditate? Now that's really up to you as long as you get it in every day. For me, as a realistic human being, it's really vital that I get my meditation in first thing in the morning. So I wake up, I wash my face, I brush my teeth, and then I immediately sit to meditate because I know if I don't, if I grab my phone and I get into my day and my responsibilities, the likelihood of me pausing all of that to sit down and to meditate has totally vanished. So, how do we meditate? Again, I want to remind you this definition of meditation. Meditation is the practice of letting everything be exactly as it is, without needing to change it. I want to stress that word practice. Therefore, we shouldn't expect ourselves to be very good at it. How do we do it? We sit, we close our eyes, and we dive into the practice as follows. For today's beginning practice, I'll offer a few minutes of guidance in the beginning, followed by a few minutes of silence. If you have longer to sit in your meditation today, once we finish together, I invite you to stay in your meditation for as long as you want or can. So here we go. I invite you to take a seat comfortably, get situated. The best posture is to have your back supported and your head free. And if you feel safe and comfortable in the space in which you're sitting, I invite you to close your eyes. And let's just take a deep breath together, inhaling through your nose and exhaling, letting it go. Let's take one more deep breath in together. Inhaling, inhaling, inhaling. And letting it go. As we enter into this practice, I invite you to check in, to become aware of how you are right now. So we'll start on a level of thought, becoming aware of what's going on inside my head right now. Becoming aware of what I may be thinking about. Even sensing into the energy of my thoughts. Are they fast or slow? What's their intensity level? How much am I unconsciously paying attention to them? No need to change anything yet, just scanning to become aware of where I am right now. Now we're going to check in on how am I feeling right now? So just scanning, becoming aware, how am I feeling? What's going on? Again, no need to change it, just allowing yourself the space and the time to become aware. And now let's check in to become aware of how am I feeling right now? What's going on inside of my heart? Again, no need to change how I'm feeling. Just allowing myself to become aware, to check in. Just like a loving or a conscious parent checks in on their child frequently, we are now checking in on ourselves. What am I thinking? And how am I feeling? Together, we're going to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Take your first deep breath in, breathe in, fill yourself with air, fill your heart space with air, like you're stretching yourself from the inside, and then when you're ready, let it go. Exhale through the mouth, relaxing the body. And then again, deep breath in, receive, and exhale, let go. And one last time together, deep breath in. And on the exhale, letting everything go, resting the body into the seat underneath you, relaxing the weight of the body into the seat underneath you. as we enter into a few minutes of quiet, I want to preface this by saying your head will start talking to you. That's what it does. The brain thinks. When, in this practice, we notice that it's got our attention, let's just simply take a breath. Let your breath be an anchor to come back to your presence. Check in with where you are right now. If you happen to be lost in thought, don't kick yourself for it. That's what the mind does. Just take a breath. Let's take a deep breath in and let it go. If you have the time to stay in your meditation now, please do so. If not, we'll begin to slowly come out of our practice by just becoming aware of our bodies. I'm in this body. Maybe wiggle your fingers a little bit, bring some movement to your toes, and find some gratitude for yourself for diving into this practice today. Whether you feel like this was a good meditation for you or not, what I want us to practice is that today's practice was exactly as it was meant to be. We take a moment in gratitude for the practice itself, to the wisdom it holds, and some gratitude for ourselves for letting ourselves have this time today. Let's take a deep breath in and let it go. And as you go about your day today, please remember that this is an accumulative practice. It matters that we sit down to meditate every day. Thank you again for joining us for this practice today. Again, my name is Ryan Weiss. You can find me at Waking Up with Ryan. I'd love to meet you in the flesh. And one last reminder to make sure you're subscribed to Goop to keep getting these meditations.